So this was a very spontaneous chat that we just decided to put together. We wanted to address the Liverpool's acquisition of the acquisition of Klopp, who's going to be the manager to replace Brendan Rodgers. So basically, there's just few things that we wanted to discuss about it. Like we didn't want to just scratch the surface; we wanted to go a bit deeper. So Travis is here and Seb's here, and myself Perry. So we're just going to go straight into it. Do you think that out of the options, first and foremost, that Klopp was the best person for the job? You know, we had talks of Ancelotti as well. What's your thoughts on that, Travis?
I think I think that's spot on the appointment. I think that's the best guy they could have got. I think this is Liverpool's best signing in like full stop, all players in how many years? Years, probably. He Rogers didn't sign Suarez, did he?
No,
No,
Dalglish. So I think is his best Liverpool's best signing since Dalglish, which is saying something. To be fair, that is not even a player, but yeah, I think that's the best option for him. I think it's gonna work. Like
so not Ancelotti then?
I think Klopp is the perfect man to make them a better team.
yeah, I feel like stylistically it makes sense. Rodgers likes his brand of counter-attacking football, higher pressure. Klopp will bring more of the same, as we saw at Dortmund. Ancelotti is a winner. He's won titles at AC Milan, but in terms of like longevity, I mean, Klopp was at Dortmund for 7 years. Ancelotti getting on a bit now. I don't think he'll stay that long.
Mm.
In terms of developing youth players as well, he's not really shown a track record of that in recent years either, to be honest. So yeah, Klopp just makes sense.
Just going off what Seb said, I definitely agree about like the style. Is similar man. See that 2013 Liverpool team with the high pressing. That's Klopp all over. That's his Dortmund team. Like he put that blueprint on Dortmund. The Gurgen pressing they call it, just the counter pressing high up the pitch. It's packed. It's like a pack, and I think that'd be perfect for Liverpool because they were almost very successful playing under such a style, and I think it works with like the players are used to that 4-2-3-1. They've been playing it already. So if Klopp comes in playing that system, I think it'll be like the perfect transition. So I just wanted to comment on the style. I think it's a perfect point.
You say that, yeah, but we know that Liverpool can do the attacking thing. We saw Brendan Rodgers get success from doing that a couple of years back with Suarez, Sturridge, and the whole SAS thing they had going on. But like Ian Wright mentioned recently on Match of the Day, was the issue not the defensive frailties at Liverpool? Like that's surely what needs to be addressed because the defensive element of Liverpool's lineup has always, in the recent seasons, has kind of let them down. They've always, if they've had a good attacking season, they've been let down by conceding goals where they shouldn't have, and it was never really addressed by Brendan Rodgers. And if it was, it wasn't a successful. It wasn't implemented successfully. The defensive aspects of developing the team.
Well, I don't know. Like looking at that season where they went really close, it looked to me as if they kind of defended from the front with the high pressure. I
They
think their
conceded a lot of
philosophy,
goals, though, didn't they?
yeah. But their philosophy that season was we're gonna score more than you, and it created probably the most. It led to some of the like best attacking football we've seen in the Premier League for the last few seasons. It really was that good, and I think if you try and defend from high up the pitch, you put pressure on the defenders. If it's done well, it I, I, I think with the right players, which is another problem that I think Liverpool had. They don't have Sterling anymore. They don't have Suarez. So whether it's going to work as well, I'm not too sure. But
You
I don't
know,
know.
so
I know what you mean about the defense, but
you guys reckon that the the fact that Klopp plays a similar style to a 2013 Brendan Rodgers, quite gung ho all out attack, that's the reason why he's the best option for the managerial job. I'm just playing devil's advocate here just to see what the opinions are saying and stuff. That's
I would
that's
say
the
so.
primary reason. What would you say? If you had to list 2 to 3 reasons why Klopp is the best man for the job, why do you think that? Why?
Stylistically, it makes sense.
So style wise, primarily
mm,
like point number one. or is it because, um, like what we said earlier, is it
I
because of
would say, yeah, number two, I'd say the fact that he stayed at Dortmund for 7 years, which is quite rare for managers nowadays to do. So if they can get anything like that out of him, that's another bonus.
How
Like
many
you
league
bring in
titles?
Ancelotti.
How many league titles did he win there?
I think he won two, didn't he, or maybe more.
I mean, like, I don't know where Dortmund came from, but I don't know whether they were finishing second or third a few seasons before he came. Possibly. I'm not the biggest, I ain't got the most knowledge on that team, but he's clearly taken over a team similar to Liverpool, and he's worked wonders. Like, winning a league over there is not easy when you're competing against Bayern Munich, who are like absolute powerhouse. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool is similar situation he's coming into where he's trying to overthrow. Okay, maybe not overthrow one team, but he's trying to overthrow a few giants to win the league. It's something I think Liverpool is well overdue. I don't
I
know
don't
whether
think their first goal with Klopp will be to win the league straight
nah,
away.
not at all.
Surely
That's
it'll just be
literally what I
like
was just about to say.
get as close. First season will be like get as close to fourth as possible. Second
Mm.
season will be like fourth. You need to be coming top four. Third season will be like now we need to be challenging. Like realistically,
Yeah,
it'll
definitely.
be like a long term plan, which they've needed for a long time. It feels like with Brendan Rodgers there was no long term sort of plan, and especially with this mysterious transfer committee they've got going on. I don't even know how much power Klopp's going to have over transfers. Like people are saying he'll be able to bring in all these names, and he did a great job at Dortmund. But at Dortmund, I'm hearing that he wasn't even in charge of the transfers. It was the director of football. So it's going to be a similar situation at Liverpool, and Liverpool have proven that their transfer committee is not that great at picking transfers, especially for value. Maybe not even so much of the name, but the value of the players that they're paying
Mm.
doesn't seem to be working out. So I don't know how much luck Klopp's going to have there, because I don't see him having that much. Not like I'm not going to say he doesn't have a say in the transfers, but like, there's only a few clubs where the manager has the say in the Premier League anymore.
Yeah.
That's Arsenal, United, maybe like an Everton or something like that. But they're the only three that stand out to me.
I think
Um,
if he's going to come in and implement his tactics and style, he will need the players required. For example, with to play a high pressing game such as the Dortmund team, you're going to need legs. Like Lucas, I don't mind Lucas for Liverpool, but you're going to need a runner in there instead, possibly. Like, I mean, there's Milner there.
They've got
Say
you've got
that again,
Henderson, Milner.
yeah, yeah, like Henderson and Milner in there. It's all about legs now in there. So he's going to need to make signings to bring his kind of stamp his own style on the team, really.
But do you reckon they will give him the money to spend on bring new players?
Yep.
They
Yep.
spent a lot of money. They spent a lot of money on Benteke's, Roberto Firmino's. Can't remember who else, but they're going to go again and say, "Here's another 100 mil."
Lallana even.
I think they will. I think they will.
They have to, really. They must have said, okay, that would have been in the negotiations, surely.
The thing is, though, like Carragher was saying the other day, like they should have done this at the start of the season,
Definitely.
or during the summer, so that he had a summer transfer window to use his money. But obviously they wanted Brendan Rodgers to do the job. So it'd be very interesting to see what he does in January transfer window, like, because again, it's not he's going to make signings, but I don't know how much of a say he's got in these signings. Like those Brendan Rodgers signings, I don't think they were all his kind of say. This transfer committee thing, man, it seems like this has the overall say on the direction of the transfers at the club. So it's going to be interesting to see how that merges with Klopp as a manager. Like, will that be problematic? Because there's a recurring theme of Liverpool and bad transfers, man. Like in the last 10 years, there's a recurring theme of Liverpool making bad transfers,
Yeah, ridiculous ones.
and
Really.
it makes sense why, because of this transfer committee. Everyone was like, "What is going on? Why are all these managers making these like rash decisions?" And it's because this committee has the final say, basically.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't really get in football. Like the manager should be the one that has the final say in transfers. Like they'll be the ones working with the players.
Mm.
Like
I think there
reading
needs
an
to be a
article-
balance, really.
I was reading an article recently, and like they were saying that the transfer committee system is not actually that flawed. It just depends on how the club is run. Because Southampton have a similar system, and theirs seems to work. Like they lose every season, they seem to be losing a significant amount of important players, and they're managing to replace them adequately, like by preparing for it, using their team, their transfer team.
Liverpool have contributed to that, really. I think they've nabbed about four players off them in recent years. Like, not even recent years, recent months. You could go back, 24 months. There's about 4 players that Liverpool have taken for big money off Southampton, and they've just adequately replaced them.
Yeah, like the Schneiderlin thing. The reason they didn't probably sell him last year is because they didn't have a transfer target lined up. So they will probably wait. Like they're not going to allow him just to go without having somebody lined up in replacement. So they've got a system that works there. So Mane, they're probably expecting him to get taken right now. So they're probably working on a replacement right now, like an affordable replacement who they might be able to profit off if they sell Mane for, like, let's say 20, 25 mil, whatever. And then bring in somebody else who's maybe worth like 15 or 10 mil, and they've made profit, and the player might be as good as Mane. So they've got a system that works there. Liverpool's just does not seem to work. Whatever's going on with this committee thing, it just doesn't seem to work, man. I'd be interested to know how much power Brendan Rodgers had over transfers.
But I guess if Klopp coming in, they would have discussed beforehand, like, how much of a say would have in transfers.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm interested as well.
You know what level he's got, like.
It'd be interesting to hear what Rodgers has to say about his time there. I hope he comes out and says something.
That sort of information might be non-disclosure agreement. Like that might be stuff that they're not allowed to release into public, because I don't know. I'd be interested to hear
what he has
to say about his transfers and stuff, because some of them have been so suspect, man. Like, some of them have been bizarre transfers.
Yeah. Like Lallana, I think he's good. He's good, but 25 mil. Come on, like you could, for the equivalent, you could go abroad and bring someone. I know it's because the English factor as well, but like, come on, like Lovren, what is he? 20 mil? Lovren for 20 mil.
Players like Markovic, I don't know what they paid for him, but he's already out on loan.
Do you know what I mean? Markovic was 20 mil. Firmino, 30 mil. 30 mil, this 29 mil. They'll tell you 29. They'll round it down, won't they? But I'm just going to round it up. 30 mil for Firmino. He's unproven. Like, to me, that's ridiculous. He's absolutely unproven. But
it'd be interesting to know how much of a say Brendan Rodgers had in that, and how much Klopp is going to have.
Saying that with Firmino, he's used to playing in that kind of that typical German pressing system. He played in it at Hoffenheim in that number 10. So Klopp might bring the best out of him. I know Klopp will know a bit about him as well, so that could be a good move.
I can't wait till Klopp has a summer to get his players in, then starts playing against the rivals and stuff. I want to see what he does. I want to see how, because he's a manager. I would have liked to have seen him at Arsenal. I just don't think it's going to happen now. But from Liverpool, I think that's a great acquisition.
Definitely, exactly. Especially going on what you just said, big teams will be losing managers within the next year or two. Like, Klopp would have been on like the short list of any of the big teams in the Premier League. So the fact that Liverpool have got him now, that's big. That's big.
Yeah, could you imagine if like Mourinho lost his job? Klopp would have been in contention, you know.
Definitely. Like, I'm not saying he would have got it, but he definitely would have been on that short list. He may have got an interview. Like,
Klopp would have been in contention. Obviously, Ancelotti would have been in contention for a return. But yeah, that would have been interesting to see how it pans out. It all just depended on
timing.
Timing. It was all just sliding doors, just timing.
I think Klopp might get the best out of Benteke purely based on the fact that I already tried to sign him like a few years ago, 2-3 years ago. So clearly he sees something in Benteke that will suit his style.
Do you not think it's an issue that Dortmund dropped off from finishing first and second and third to seventh last season? Does that not show a bit of inconsistency?
A bit like Rodgers. It's a bit like Rodgers, isn't it, that?
We get more of a budget at Liverpool, though, won't he? So we'll get to see what we can do with a bigger budget.
Yeah, it seemed like Dortmund were getting robbed for their players at one point.
Yeah.
I don't think that will happen at Liverpool so much. You don't know what
I
do you?
don't know.
I don't know who's there for them. Who's there? Who big clubs? Who's gonna rob anyone from Liverpool? Like, not even disrespect. Well, who's there? Who do you want? Who is there any like? Perry, as an Arsenal fan, like Seb as a United fan, who at Liverpool would you want in your team?
Coutinho is the only name that stands out, man.
He scores a screamer every 10, 11 games, but
He ain't getting in the Arsenal first team,
yeah.
that's for sure.
We look at probably Sturridge. I like Sturridge at his best. I like Sturridge.
Sturridge, yeah. Why did I forget? Because he's been injured for so long now. He's back. Sturridge.
Sturridge has been in the clubs and that. Like, he's back now on the football field.
Sturridge.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's got a bit of time to build something there. There's no standout player at Liverpool, which is, I don't know.
Sturridge, yeah, that's the only player who could add something to the Arsenal team. I think United.
Same with United, yeah.
I don't even know. Yeah,
Maybe United could do with one of them. Could do with Saka or something. It's a bit. I don't know.
Silence.
I really don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
They gave it the silence.
Nah, United are playing with midfielders in the defence, and you still wouldn't take Sacco. That is mad. That is mad.
Trust me, they'd rather have Ashley Young in that.
Ashley Young at left back over what's his name, Marino.
I'll take Moreno in the current situation, but like not over Luke Shaw. Not.
So what do you think about Liverpool? Like, Klopp, he probably won't have any expectations for this season. It's all about consolidation. Probably.
I reckon they're just gonna say to him, "Get as far up the table as you possibly can." Like, that's going to be his only instruction. Just get as close, get a string of games going where you were just looking good. Like, get as close to fourth. That's your aim. Their team is going to be like fifth, sixth, like fourth if possible, and then next season is going to be top four.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think this season means anything to them. It's all about getting that play style right. Do you know what I mean? They probably don't even care if they get in the Europa League. I think this season is kind of all about making sure they know how to play in this style, so next season they can go. Because Liverpool's best season to date, were they even in the Europa League that season when they were flying? I don't think they were.
Nah, they weren't.
See what I mean? Like,
yeah, because I remember they weren't having European games, and I was like, that's so unfair. Like,
that was a massive
every
factor.
Week they're just waiting with their players all fit and that.
Massive factor that was in that season, along with the great Luis Suarez. Big as a footballer, I love Luis Suarez. So,
and Sturridge
and Sterling
breaking
breaking
as
through.
well, man.
Sterling with no just the freedom, no expectation.
That film, Unleashed, or Danny the Dog with Jet Li, like, Sterling came through like that, man. They just let him go. They just took the collar off him and just let him go, bro. It was just mad.
No expectation.
Just as soon as the collar came off, he was just running wild, causing problems for defenders.
Seriously, this season, no joke, Liverpool could finish anywhere between 4th and 10th for me. But it doesn't matter. It's all about knowing how to play that style, like, for next season. Then in the summer, Klopp will bring in, probably in the winter, he'll bring someone in. But in the summer, it's all about next summer, like Perry said. Just all about him stamping his signings on the team.
Do you reckon he'll raid Dortmund? See what we can get from there.
There should be players there. There should be players there that would want to come and play for him. So if he can, he will, I'm sure.
Is he left because they came 7th, or is it just because, like, why did he decide to pack it up?
Didn't his contract end?
Why, and they just didn't renew it?
He didn't renew it by choice. I think he took a little break out.
Fair enough.
I might be wrong.
Yeah, he said, like, towards the end of that season that he was like gonna leave at the end of the season. So yeah, I think that season might have stressed him out, but I don't know. He said, like, towards the end of that season, yeah, I'm going to have a break. So it hasn't really been a long break. He left in May, June, July, August, September, October, 5 months out. Whole life has moved to England. Can he even speak English?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So
Yeah, man. I think he'll come in there, like big personality, will lift the place.
He looks like a young Wenger, man. That's another reason why, like, I just want him to Liverpool are lucky. They're lucky. Like,
yeah, that's a big appointment because I was making jokes about they were going to get Gary Monk because I could just imagine Liverpool doing something like that. But
yeah. But to be fair though, man, the Premier League is it's a different beast to every other league in the world. Like, what I mean by that is you can't come to England and have one style of play in it. We know that you can go to Spain and play in a certain way. We know you can go to Italy. You know you can go Germany. Like, in England, it's just different. Like, it's going to be hard for him, man, to adapt straight away. He's not going to find it easy straight away. I'd be very surprised if he takes to it like a duck to water.
But I would say the German league is like stylistically the most similar.
Yeah, it's definitely the most similar. But the German league doesn't have 5 teams competing for one spot. Only one league has that. The competitiveness of the Premier League is something else, man.
yeah,
Every manager will tell you that.
there's about 6, 7 teams who want to get in the top 4, and about 4 teams who want to win the league.
5, man. There's 5 leagues, 5 teams who you could be like.
5.
Well, if you consider Liverpool, like a couple of years ago, people were saying they were going to win the league.
True, and they should have.
So there's 5 teams there who realistically should be aiming to win the league. Like, that's in Spain you got 2, Germany you got 1 now, like 2 a couple of years ago. Like, Italy, no one even watches the Italian league anymore. It fell off, but yeah.
Do you know what I'm excited for? Press conferences and the mind games. What Mourinho wants to say, because I know Mourinho's gonna try it. New kid on the block. Mourinho's gonna wanna test him, push his buttons. I can't wait for it, man. Gonna be interesting to see what Klopp's like in that situation.
Mourinho only ever speaks up when somebody's a rival, and if they're not a rival, he never addresses them.
Yeah,
so
true.
let's see.
He makes friends with them. To be honest, if Mourinho wants to bring you in for a bottle of wine, then kind of should be you're not doing something right, I guess. Like, if you're a top club, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're not his enemy,
if
you're not a threat.
If you're a top club, like I still think the only reason he didn't make a enemy out of Fergie was because I at that time I thought he secretly wanted the United job, but that's my little theory. I don't know.
Him and Van Gaal haven't gone back and forth yet, have they?
Nah. They were boys though, innit? At Barcelona when Van Gaal managed it.
I want him to try it with Klopp. It better happen.
All his negative energy is focused on Wenger, man. I don't think he's gonna shift any focus on anyone else. He hates Wenger with a passion.
I want to try it with Klopp so badly. Like, just try it with Klopp. I want to see what Klopp's like in war. Do you know what I mean? Like,
true say.
Brendan didn't really get into war like that. I can't really remember Brendan getting into war like. But
Brendan Rodgers always looked calm, didn't he?
Yeah. Mr. Political Correct, man.
It showed great character. Like,
he always looked calm. Like, he never looked riled up. Like, he never looked like something that could ruffle his feathers. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we've wrapped up by addressing most of the things I wanted to say.
Welcome Klopp to the Premier League, innit?
Good luck.